Starting on your hands and knees, we're going to go into our cat-cow. So we're going to push the floor away and round the spine, keeping that navel tucked way in, and then dropping the spine down and arching the tailbone and the head up toward the ceiling. And just take your time focusing on your breath. From here, we'll go into down dog, pedaling out the feet, pushing the floor away, really pushing through the shoulders and driving the heels down to the floor. Stretching up the right leg, we're going to tuck it into our left elbow, reach it back, tuck it to the center, reach it back one more time, and then swing that foot forward to a nice low runner's lunge. Take your time here, working through whatever you might need, pushing that knee out, keeping that front foot nice and flat. Drop that back knee and turn the leg so it's at about 90 degrees, and just kind of work your way through here, searching for what you might need in your groin stretch. Taking your time, keeping that front foot flat. Turn your leg back, send it up into that split down dog, and then back into your down dog, pedaling it out. From here, you'll shift forward and lower down onto your belly. Extending the arms up overhead, you're going into a long swim. Keeping the shoulders and the head elevated, reaching up nice and high, so the whole time the arms are off the floor and reaching up toward the ceiling, swimming around all the way back to your hips, and then back to the front. Tuck the hands under the shoulders, push yourself back into that down dog position, pedaling out the feet, and then extending the left leg, doing a cross-body knee tuck, extending it back, center knee tuck, extending it back, and then a low lunge. Finding your stretch here, pushing the knee out. And then you're going to lower that back knee and turn the leg 90 degrees, settling into that groin stretch wherever you feel like you might need it. Turn that leg back, send the left leg up into that split down dog, and then shifting into that down dog, lowering to your stomach, and then going back into your long swim. Nice big reach overhead and all the way around. Taking your time, extending out long and up tall as much as possible. From here, you'll tuck the hands under the shoulders, pushing everything up as one unit, all the way up into down dog, pedaling the feet, and then going again on that right side. So doing that cross knee, center knee tuck, and then that low lunge with the foot up by the hand. Dropping that back knee and then turning the leg into that 90 degrees, searching for that groin stretch, taking your time, turning it back, and then sending it up into that split down dog. From here, we'll go right into that tall plank and lower down onto your stomach, and then reaching up overhead for your long swim. Reaching out long and high up toward the ceiling, taking your time and trying to keep those glutes relaxed and the hamstrings relaxed. Tucking the hands under the shoulders, pushing back into down dog. Extend the left leg, cross body tuck, extend the left leg, center, up, and then you're going into that low lunge. And then dropping that back knee and turning that leg 90 degrees for your groin stretch. Taking your time, really focusing on what you might need. Turn that leg back, send the leg up into that split down dog. Take a second here and then shifting forward onto your stomach. We're going long swim one more time. We'll come up onto your hands and knees, and then you're actually going to flip it around so you're in sort of a crab position. And you're going to bridge your hips up and then reach one arm up at a time. Really pushing the floor away And on this last one, we're going to turn and drop the knees to the floor so you'll find yourself in a 90-90 position. And then bridging through that front hip, pushing the hips forward only 3 times, holding it up here, swinging that back leg around, and then shifting forward for the hip flexors, and then shifting back for the hamstrings. Taking your time, drive it forward, shift it back, and from here you're going to just spin around, give your knees the space they need, and you're going to lift that extended leg up and over around the back. Bringing it back, crossing over, bringing it back. We're going one more time. Bring it out nice and long, and now we're going to shift forward to our hip flexors and hamstring one more time. And then from here, you want to make sure you have your balance and are centered. You're going to swing that leg back and sit back into that 90-90. Shifting the hips up for that front hip bridge. And from here, you're going to turn into that crab position again, pushing everything up, reaching one arm up at a time. Keep reaching, and then on the 5th one right here, we're going to turn the knees and we're changing the direction. So we're 90-90, we're hip thrusting up through that front hip. We're going 3 times, so one more. And now we're going to swing that back leg around, and we're going to shift forward for a hip flexor stretch, and then back for the hamstrings. And we're going one more time. Now we'll shift so that you're facing forward, keeping that extended leg nice and long, lifting the leg without arching the back too much, crossing it behind you. We're going 3 times, so one more. Now bringing it to the side, keeping it extended, turning your body, and then bending that extended leg again into that hip flexor, and then straight for the hamstrings. Last time here, hip flexor, hamstring, come up tall, and swing that front leg back. You're going to turn back into that crab position, pushing the floor away, extending one arm up at a time. Big push and reach, big push and reach. And on this last one, you're going to turn the knees, and we're going to do this all one more time. So thrusting the hips upward. Once more. And now swinging that leg forward for your hip flexor and then back for your hamstrings. And then shifting forward so that the extended leg stays straight out to the side. You're going to lift it and cross it behind you, keeping the spine as neutral as you can, really focusing on the glutes, moving the leg, turning back to the front, shifting toward that knee, extending back for the hamstrings. One last time here. And now take your time swinging that leg back into 90-90 and shifting into that crab position. You have one last time here. Big pushes, extending one arm up toward the ceiling, pushing that floor away with the shoulders and with the glutes, turning and dropping the knees down for your 90-90. Big hip thrust here, pushing up through that front hip. Swinging that leg forward, extending for the hamstring. One more time, forward for the hip flexors and back for the hamstring. Spin it around so now you're facing forward. Extending that leg behind you, keeping it as long as you possibly can. Out to the side, really challenging your range of motion here. And now you're going to turn back toward that knee, hip flexor, and then hamstring. One more time. And now you'll come up nice and tall, swing that leg back behind you, lowering down, Last hip thrusts here. Big push. And then our last set of crabs. You're going to push the hips up, reach one arm up nice and high, keeping that core engaged, pushing through the glutes and the hamstrings. And now bring the bottoms of your feet together and just take a couple of deep breaths. Nicely done.